Hi everybody, Mother Trucker here, checking in. It's been a hot minute since I actually made a video. I know I just uploaded some, but I haven't actually made one in a while because I went to Louisiana. I was pretty excited about that because it was a state I'd never been in, not even for personal travel. Not that I can remember anyways. So it was kind of interesting. There were spots I went through. I was going through Louisiana, I actually went to a place called Opelousas. But I had to go through Baton Rouge, I think. Yeah, I went through Baton Rouge, but I was along the coastline mostly, a few miles inland. There's a highway, but it's kind of weird because a lot of it is like, it's all waterlogged. I mean, you look off, it looks like you're on a bridge for miles and miles and miles and miles. Except for, it's not just plain water, it's like swamp water. Like, you can see trees and stuff growing, and it's just miles and miles. And because it was bridge-like and it was so narrow, I didn't really want to get my camera out and whatnot. And honestly, I thought that I was going to be going back through that way, but I didn't. So I missed getting all that on video. But I did go to Louisiana, and I saw signs for Boudin, for those of you who have watched Duck Dynasty or know what Boudin is. I saw lots of signs for crawfish or crayfish, and you know, it's kind of weird because when I was growing up, my dad had this kind of tells you a little bit about how old I am. My dad had this vinyl record. It was one of those big ones. It wasn't a 45, it's a big one. I think they called those 72s. And I don't even remember the guy's name. It was a comedian, but he was a Cajun. And I guess I expected everybody in Louisiana to talk like him, like with a French accent, you know, like some bad Southern / French accent, and it wasn't like that at all. It's kind of like all the other northern states, or southern states, though, where it seems like it's occupied more by people of color. And of course it was very hot and muggy, but that's really all about all I remember about that. Oh, one of the bridges I crossed, it was called, the name of the river was Bigeaux, which, if you go by, you know, French pronunciation, it's supposed to be Big O, I think, but it might be Bigeaux. I don't know how they would say that, but I thought it was, you know, the Big O River. Anyways, I just got a kick out of that. I'll tell you where I am in just a minute, but I had a sort of a mini meltdown a couple of days ago. There's been a lot going on. And, you know, most of it's just normal, everyday stuff, but it started to pile up on me, and I finally had, you know, like, the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, I was just, because I had a couple of different loads with delays on them and whatnot, my paycheck is not anywhere near what I wanted and hoped for it to be. You know, it's actually less than the rent I owe. So I was stressed about that, and I had some little twat in the office trying to micromanage me by asking me. I had a day that I had to get up and be at the shipper by 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. I think. And I had a little twat from the office who was messaging me at 4:20 asking me if I was about to roll. And I just don't like being micromanaged. Like, I'm 51 years old, and I was already up and rolling and getting fuel so that I'd be prepared for the trip. And I really didn't appreciate him, like, checking up on me like that. That kind of pissed me off. Then I had some, I don't know, I don't even remember everything that was bothering me that day, which is probably a good thing. So I had to be, actually I think this was the same day that I got micromanaged by the little twat. I showed up. That was the day that I had to be there at, I think it was 4, it might have been 5. I think it was 5. I had to be there at 5, so I show up, and my GPS was telling me I was going down the road that was named the address that I was on, which was Sand Ridge Road or something like that. And it's dark because it's 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and my GPS is telling me that my destination is on the right. Well, that's a residential area. And so there's no way in HE double hockey sticks that I'm turning down there, because I don't know if there's a place for me to turn around a truck. I'm not risking getting it stuck. So I just happened to look over here, and here's a big FedEx sign over here. I mean, it's kind of set back a little bit, which is why I didn't see it until I was like right on it. So I wound up having to go up a couple of miles until I found like a big huge empty parking lot to turn around. So by the time I got back and checked in, it was like 5:08. But that's not really pertinent to the story, I guess. Then I get in there and I get my load and I go to pick up the trailer, and the trailer has no crank handle on it for the landing gear, which is a pretty integral part for your trailer that you have to have, because if you don't roll up the landing gear, and you could, trash them on something, and then you can't put the trailer down when you go to drop it. So I don't even know how it got dropped by the last driver, because there was no handle. So I had to call Breakdown. Breakdown, the first time they asked me if I have the tools to just take the handle off the old trailer. And that was just, I find that fucking ridiculous. Yes, it seems like a logical, quick fix, but then it leaves the next person with no handle for their trailer. And the FedEx loads are time-sensitive loads. So I understand. They wanted me to get on the road, but I didn't have the tools to do it. So I had to call them back and let them know that I couldn't get it fixed myself. And then they're like, okay, well, we'll send out, they have to hire a trailer company to come and fix it. They tell me it'll be 20 to 50 minutes. And then the guy's like, but really it'll be closer to an hour and a half. Okay, fine. That's fine. 2 hours. At this time, by the time it's been 2 hours since I called him, now 3 hours have passed since I had to be there. So I call again 2 hours later. There's nothing. And they say, oh, let me call them. So first of all, I had to wait to get through to them, like probably 20-30 minutes to get through, because Breakdown's always busy. And then she puts me on hold to call the trailer company, comes back, and is like, it'll be like 20 minutes. So it's about 30 minutes later that the trailer company finally showed up. And it took him about, from the time that he opened up the back of his trailer to the time that he actually rolled up the landing gear for me, it was probably 5-6 minutes. So I was really stuck there pretty much 4 hours behind on my load, you know. And it wasn't my fault, but I get stressed about it because I feel like it makes me look bad, like I couldn't do something to fix it, you know. So, and then I think I got really peed off by the guy that was trying to micromanage me, and I kind of melted down, and I know what the other thing was. You know, that stupid coffee pot that I bought for $35? It worked for about 3 days. So I'm still currently without a coffee pot. For the time being, as soon as I get to another Love's, I'm going to try to exchange it. But I'm going to have to like arrange some home time or something so that I can either try to exchange my Keurig or I don't know. So yeah, no coffee plus all that other stuff on top of it. Yeah. Meltdown for Jolly. I'm driving down the road just crying. I don't know. So they sent me he was going to send me to Loudon, which is my home terminal, for what they call a BPM, which has something to do with preventative maintenance on the truck. Has to be done every so many miles. Takes a minimum of 4 hours, and I was needing a 34 anyways. That was another thing. I didn't get my 34-hour break. I came back from my vacation with my family and worked my ass off, worked my 70 hours, was expecting my 34, and then was told no, not to take my 34. So, but I did have to sit for like, I don't know, 15 hours at a terminal. And I don't know, the whole thing just kind of pissed me off because I was trying to be a planner and be proactive, and I feel like that they're just coming in and fucking up all my shit. So anyways, yeah, so I didn't get to go to Loudon because I guess they didn't have a load going that way that I could pick up. So I picked up that load and took it to Olive Branch, Mississippi, which is actually just barely outside. It is south of Memphis by about 5 miles, 5 to 10 miles, somewhere in there. So I actually got a 34 there, and that was kind of interesting. I like the terminal. It's big. It's got a nice kitchen area, nice living area, 2 showers, which I did take a shower there. I don't know. I kind of have a prejudice about the showers now because somebody told me they only clean them once a day. Like at the Pilot and the Loves, they clean that shower in between each shower. And supposedly they sanitize it. I don't know about all that, but I know when you go in it's dry. So they do something to it. I got to take a shower. I did all my laundry. And then I borrowed the company car. Each terminal has, some of them call it a shuttle, some of them call it a van. It's a company provided car for drivers, and you can sign it out and go into town and do what you need to do. The only problem is you only get an hour. So I wanted to go to Walmart and to Dollar Tree, and I wanted to go get some more enzymes for my little camping potty, and I wanted to get something to eat. I wound up just going to Dollar Tree and skipping the Walmart trip for now because because of money, because money's a little tight. And then I went and got me some food, and I did go to a place called Camping World, which I thought they only sold RVs, but apparently they sell camping supplies. So I was able to get a bottle of the enzyme formula that I need for the holding tank on the camping potty. And it should last me for probably, 2 ounces for 40 gallons, and I have a 2.5 gallon, so it's probably going to last me a year. I don't know. And I paid like $9 for it, so that'll be good. So I got some shopping done, and then I got really sleepy because I woke up at 4 a.m. because I went to bed. They've got me on this nasty cycle. I spent 3 days getting up before 6 a.m. and then so by the time I got there, I was sleepy as all get out. So I went to bed at like 8 o'clock. So my body woke me up at 4 a.m. and I stayed awake. And then I put the truck in the shop at 7 when the shop opened so that I could get it in and out. But they did have it most of the day, and that's another frustration for me because I feel like they mansplained to me about what it needed, or basically what they did, and they didn't fix what I wanted fixed. And so I'm gonna take it up with my fleet manager on Monday when he comes in. Today I am on my way to Utah. I think my fleet manager is trying to make things up to me a little bit, so he got me this load. It's going from Olive Branch to where I was. There's a FedEx right there. It's like 3 minutes away from the terminal. So I went to a FedEx terminal and picked up this load, which was another mess. FedEx needs to get their shit together, let me tell you something. Anyways, I'm going from there all the way to North Salt Lake, Utah. It's about 1,500. What they're paying for is 1,524 miles. And then from there, I'm going to pick up another load at the FedEx, same FedEx, and take it to Ohio. So those 2 loads are going to give me about 3,000 miles. And as long as I can do them in a week, that's pretty much like the goal. Because 3,000 miles should get me a $1,000 paycheck for a week. And I need it to help because I'm still behind on bills and trying to catch up. And I really don't want to bust my butt, for $500 a week, because I was making that at the call center. I think because I'm at 18 minutes, I'm going to stop this video here. I do have another video that I'm going to make that involves questions that I've gotten. So stay tuned for that one coming up at a later time. Mother Trucker out.